Hi, YT YouTube world. Thanks for joining me. My name is Gabriel Flores, and this is a basically a bunch of pictures are going to pop up, and I'm just going to talk about them with you. So, thanks for joining me, and check out some of my other ones. This isn't the first one I've done, so jumping right in, here's the first picture. This is a white rectangle. White rectangle on the left side of the rectangle is a square with rounded corners and a blue background. There's a circle inside. That the circle is red and white. To the in the middle of the rectangle is another square with rounded corners, and it's a weird color and looks like there's somebody smiling there. To the right of on the very right of the rectangle is another square with rounded corners and a multicolored heart inside and like a cream colored background. This is a screenshot collected from Google Play Store. Check them out on there. Okay, next image is a white rectangle. On the left side of the rectangle is a square with sharp corners. There's like white dots. There's a lot of colors in there. In the middle of the rectangle is another square with rounded corners, pink or purple type background, and that's either the sun or a circle, and looks like we may be looking at some kind of like palace or something like that. And to the right, the very right of the rectangle, is another square with rounded corners, SimCity, water. There's like a picture, a cartoon picture or an art picture or something like that of like a beach and water and buildings and stuff like that, and like there's a crane in the very, very far distance in the background. Next one looks like we have a repeat. I didn't notice this was the same as the first one we looked at, but this is a white rectangle. And on the very right of the right rectangle, inside the rectangle, is a square with rounded corners, a circle that is red or orange, white, and black. And outside of the circle in the background is like a blue. It almost looks like a sky, or yeah, it looks like a sky, but there's also like a horizon too. So, and it looks like a horizon and what could be a river going through it. So it's like a picture of like a world, like a global type picture or something like that. Okay, next image up top is says winter, snowman, a snowman icon. And this is a screenshot. Below that icon is a screenshot I took from Google Play. This is just a different location. Most of the pictures I was taking from Google Play were recommended games that they were recommending for me. And this is a different location of other games that were could be targeted at or towards me. And this is unique because they have pictures of the same games, of all of their same games, but in a different style. It looks more stylistic and it's just kind of unique, and I like the picture, so I just cropped it out and kept it. Anyways, we got the next image coming up. Okay, this is a white rectangle. To the right of the rectangle inside is a square with sharp corners. This is the same image. I'm wondering if I have, because I'm not sure, like a lot of my screenshots I do repeats of the ads because I know the ads come through always. They keep coming through, the advertisers just keep sending them through. And here I'm not sure if I messed up or what. I'm not sure if I like took multiples of this screenshot or if I kept selecting the same one when I was building the slideshow in KineMaster. So, anyways, inside the rectangle are three different images of games that can be found in the Google Play Store. Check it out, guys. They have a lot of cool games in there. Another unique screenshot I captured from Google Play. This wasn't of the recommended games location, but another, like I said, there were other sections and categories that were being presented to me that could be targeted towards me. And so I took screenshots because they want me to see it. And I got borders on this one. No, it doesn't look like I got borders. Yeah, it looks like there is like a border. I don't know. The border's kind of hard to see on this one. But this shot is like an isolated picture. I didn't take the screenshot of the whole thing that this was connected to. So I separated this from the rest of the image because it looks really cool with all of those games being advertised in the background, and then you got the Google Play Store icon right in the or in the middle of all that stuff. So it looks pretty cool. Here is a white rectangle, and on the right of the rectangle inside is a square that with rounded corners, and blue, yellow, boy, yellow hair. Right side rectangle inside, square with rounded corners, some kind of weird looking icon picture type thing, deep dark red, looks like a picture of a DNA chromosome type thing, like a cartoon image of it. The corners of the square of the rounded of the square are dark, are like black, and then as you go in towards the middle of the square, the red starts to it turns red. Next image is a square, white square background. In there is another square with rounded off corners, and it looks like it's like a camera shot. It looks like it's like a picture of what you would see when you put your eye to a camera and you look through a camera, and it'll say like recording and stuff, and it has like lines to help you measure when you take the shot. And then as you look further into the camera, you see what the camera's pointing at. The camera's pointing down inside a meeting place. So it looks like somebody is illegally recording a meeting or a future meeting, or they have it set up so they can record the meetings and stuff like that. Kind of weird shot. Next image, square, white square. Inside the white square is another square with rounded corners and a bunch of little squares. Blue, green, light blue, yellow, red, purple, red, orange, green, and these are. It looks like this might be Tetris, but I don't know because there's so many different games out there and different versions, so I couldn't tell you what the name of this game is, but it looks similar to what you would see if you had your hands on Tetris. Tetris, like back in the days, it's an old school game, really fun game. Your goal is basically just to line up all the different shapes, and it's really challenging. You only have a certain amount of time to do it. Kind of like what I'm doing here with these pictures, trying to describe them as fast as possible with the amount of time that I've allotted for each one. Anyways, next image. This is a picture, a screenshot of another game, a unique picture. It looks like, to me, it looked like it was a picture of outer space, but instead of stars, you have jewels that are kind of looking like they could be like representing outer space and stuff. So it's pretty cool. The colors of these jewels: yellow, orange, green, and blue. The blue one is sparkling. It has a sparkle on it, and in the background is like a pink, a hot pink color. And that's supposed to be the color of outer space, and then they have some real stars in the background as well, and those look like just like white, like they're like a white type color. And in the corners of the image is white, all four corners are white. Next image just popped up is a orange square with sharp corners, and inside of that is a square with rounded corners and a bunch of white dots. I believe this is my Fitbit logo, and I just took a screenshot of it. This was in a place on my phone, and I found it interesting because the way that they designed, because it was on my phone and they had Fitbit's logo there. But as you can see in the background, it's orange, so it makes the logo look different. And Samsung is doing this. It's on my phone, and I was like, "What? Why would this logo be looking different? Why would they be designing their logo? It's on Samsung. It's on my phone where the applications are found." So I took a screenshot of it. I thought that was weird, really weird. Okay, anyways, this is a screenshot white border up top and bottom. This is a rectangle, but the rectangle isn't horizontal, it's vertical. And it's of a really pretty white lady with blonde hair. She's holding an iPad. Her fingernails are painted pink. She's wearing a red dress and a white sleeveless shirt. She has a chain, or not a necklace. She has a necklace on, a pearl necklace. There's lettuce behind her, so it looks like she's a businesswoman. She's like the owner or the general manager, ordering, explaining the system to somebody, how the how freaking how the all the stuff's gonna be ordered and stuff like that. She's probably like training them or just like talking with them, having a meeting. She's probably doing like her monthly visit or something. There, this is a rectangle with a border on all of the sides. Inside is an image of a tomahawk steak, that looks like rosemary. There's a small cup of what looks like peppercorn, and all of that is sitting atop a rectangular black marble esque plate, of which is placed on top of a dark brown table next to two different kinds of knives. The knives have brown handles and dull chrome metal tips. The Okay, this is the next image. A white rectangle that says fast food inside, gray. The F in fast is capitalized. The F in food is capitalized. I don't know where this came from. It's kind of interesting. Fast is spelled FAST. Food is spelled FOOD. Fast food, both capitalized. There's no sentence that I could think of where fast and food would be capitalized. Because if just the F in fast was capitalized and the F in food wasn't, then I could say, well, this probably belonged to this is probably the beginning of a sentence and I cropped out the rest of it or whatever. But that wouldn't make sense because food wouldn't need to be capitalized. And so it's probably a title of something, but fast food, maybe fast food joints in the area. This brings me to the next image, white rectangle. Inside are black words that say Mexican food. The M in Mexican is capitalized, the F in food is capitalized. Take note up top and bottom of the words, guys. There's more white space above the words up top compared to the bottom. The bottom has less white space beneath below the words. Below these words, there is less white space or whatever. So looks like I hurried and cropped it out. I don't know why I didn't take the time to try to make it more accurate, but I was probably in a hurry and I probably just, okay, this is fine, and let it go. But there's also white space to the right and on the right side of food and the left side of Mexican. And this is probably the title of Mexican food joints that can be found. And this is the title because it belongs to an application of mine. And that's the title that they're using. Next image, white rectangle, sharp corners. Inside is an image of a hamburger, curly fries. The hamburger, the bun looks like it's pretty beat up. And the hamburger, it's not a hamburger. Sorry, guys. It's some kind of sandwich with all kinds of different meats on there. There's like roast beef. There's different kinds of cheese. There's white cheese. There's yellow cheese. There's bacon and there's chicken on there. There's a deep fried chicken on there, breaded deep fried chicken. I don't know why I said hamburger. That was the first thing that came to mind, but it's not a hamburger. And next image coming right up, a rectangle cropped image. Take note, there's no borders on this one. I've discontinued borders, but like I said before in my other things that I've created for you guys, I have a lot of images that I've cropped that still have borders that are saved in my Samsung gallery. So even though I've discontinued doing borders going forward into the future, since I still have a bunch of old images saved on my phone, you will still see a lot of images with borders. But this is kind of interesting. This one doesn't, but just because I was doing borders then doesn't mean that I wasn't doing pictures without borders. But just remember that a lot of them are, because then That's what I was doing most of the time. So doesn't mean you can't see some from back then that don't have borders. Just FYI, stupid information. Here, next image, rectangle. Take note of the border on all four sides. So here we go. You know, this is an image that was probably collected back in the day. Because right now, I'm typically not doing borders right now. This is a picture that I took of Whataburger, which is not too far from where I live. And I took this picture with the intent of putting it onto Google Maps, which they have a program for people who go to a lot of places to take images, and you could post images of local businesses on there with other people who rate the businesses and give you information about the businesses, and I did that with Whataburger, and I came across the image again when Google Maps sent me a monthly review of my work. They had that in there as an example, so I took a screenshot of that camera picture that I took and threw it up on here. Okay, sorry, this is the next image. This is a rectangle. Take note of the border on the bottom and top, white. This is a picture of me, actually. This is a party that I went to over at my sister's house and her boyfriend's house, and I think this was for, whose birthday was this for? I think it was for, I can't remember whose birthday it was, to tell you the truth. But here in this image is me. I'm in the lower left corner. My nephew is in the lower right corner, and my sister's boyfriend is up on the upper right corner of the image. Next image here, rectangle again. Take note of the white border up top and bottom. This is another shot I took at Whataburger. I thought this was going to be a unique shot for me to put up onto Google Maps, because it's just, you know, it's something that's characteristic of Whataburger. It's just simply their order board where you their menu outside, when their drive-through menu. And I tried to take it as professionally as possible, and I thought it was a pretty good picture, so I threw it up onto Google Maps again, like that other one. And they must have liked it too, because in their monthly review, they sent it back to me, and I saw it in there, and I was doing screenshots at the time, and I was like, hey, this is something I can take a screenshot of. This is going to be unique, because this was originally a picture I took with my camera. And now I have an opportunity, not just by me going to look at the photo from it saved on my phone, but that came back to me from a different source, to take a screenshot of it. So if you think about that, it's kind of cool. And again, guys, this image here is another camera shot I took for Google Maps again. And this is a real post that I put up there for Fry's Food. For people who are inquiring about Fry's Food, if they look through the information, they're going to come across this image. Could come across this image, but there's a lot of people who post stuff about different businesses. There's thousands and millions. There's probably millions of people who are posting stuff about businesses just here in the greater metropolitan Phoenix area. So, and if you think about nationally and then worldwide, it gets a lot bigger than that. Anyways, it's the end, guys. Thank you for staying tuned. If you like this video, check out my other ones and stay tuned for future, because I have more coming along. Peace out, world.